Hello, Mayor.
Well, I was thinking about our conversation yesterday, and you made some interesting points about Kelly and Amanda and what have you. But, the bottom line is whatever they did pales in comparison to what Jeff did. And that is, he threw a lawsuit at me. It has created a domino effect where the council now wants to have control of all the wire transfers. Mosseri is making an issue of it. Stevens is making an issue of it, and it's becoming a major headache. It could cost the taxpayers millions of dollars because they now want to question again the wire transfers. Mrs. Levin's called me up. She's discussing with the wire transfers. She's into it now. She's saying we should have settled at $1.6 million. Oh, yes, and she's concerned about the Schroeder lawsuit, as is Mosseri, and as is Stevens and Sadowski and what have you. So that opened up the Pandora's box. And I talked to Denise Williams the other day, and she said council should never, ever be getting involved in these wire transfers, these lawsuits that are settled by the insurance company. So it's created a problem. So
no, Mayor, I agree with you 100%. I totally agree.
That's an example of what, and then Stevens said publicly that the only reason we didn't settle it because I didn't want to testify. And of course, Mrs. Levis is running with that, as is Banya and everybody else. So it's caused me a multitude of problems. So no matter what Amanda does, I don't care if she's blowing Bill and after a football game, and Kelly is grandstanding at council meetings. What Jeff did has monumental problems. You yourself said had he gone to court, it would have been nasty and ugly. So
well,
I can never, ever forgive Jeff for what he did. And if you stand on Jeff's side, then we...
Well, no, Mayor, that's the problem is that I don't...
you have a tendency to want to defend Jeff.
Well, no, I only... Wait a minute.
You have a tendency to say that fucking bitch, Kelly.
Absolutely.
Every time I bring up Jeff, you're like a Pavlovian response. You start bringing up Kelly.
Because you bring up the lawsuit. But that's what started the lawsuit. That's what I just trying to...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that he sued the city and threw my fucking name in it. That's what the fuck matters. That's all I give a shit about, okay? I don't give a fuck what that little piece of shit does. But he caused me trouble, and I did not cause him trouble. And whatever little things I said about him never made it in print, never made it in the newspapers or nothing. But every fucking... And there's another thing I gotta tell you. You're telling me that because Gus sued the Warren Forum, that this is why the Wikipedia, this is why all this shit is falling on me. So may I remind you that the Warren Forum has been nothing but shit against me. Nothing but fucking shit against me.
Yeah,
so the Warren Forum is like a regular Wikipedia. Okay? It's
but like the problem...
and that motherfucking Unum, I have no use for it, and I hope he fucking goes to jail, and I hope he rots in hell, along with Jeff Schroeder. Okay? I've had my fucking fill of Jeff Schroeder and his fucking buddy, Joe Unum. Okay? Jeff has not had to deal with the kind of shit I've had to deal with. I don't deserve the fucking shit I've had to deal with. And so when you defend him, and when you bring up Amanda and Kelly and Gus, I don't give a shit about any of that. They haven't caused me the kind of trouble that I have and the city has as a result of Jeff Schroeder.
Well, not yet.
And every kook in town is going crazy over this Schroeder lawsuit, which I had nothing ever to do with. I did not cause anything, and that little fucking piece of shit threw my name in there. So don't ever defend him to me because it doesn't help you out with me at all. I've had my fucking fill of him. I've had my motherfucking fill of him. You understand that?
Absolutely.
So don't defend him anymore. And if I say something about him, don't start twirling your eyes and grumbling and making faces, because I don't want.
How about we make an agreement that you're not going to mention Jeff Schroeder's name again, and I won't either, and we'll go on about the city's business.
I have a right to mention him because that motherfucker causes me problems every motherfucking day. Every motherfucking day. Okay? I'm fucking sick of him. You understand? I'm fucking sick of him.
I understand. You've made that abundantly clear, sir.
You know what I mean? He sails off in his merry way. He's having fun, making a lot of money up there and fucking around. And he didn't do shit when he was in the city attorney's office. He fucked around here, and I imagine he's fucking around there. He's an expert at getting out of work. And he's a bullshit artist, boo. But I will never, ever forgive him for what he did. And I'm sick. I blame him for the Wikipedia, and I blame him for Warren Forum. Not once has the fucking Warren Forum gone after him. Not one fucking time. And there's plenty of things that could have been said about him. And anybody that I'm close with, the Warren Forum goes in. You know, I'm sick of fucking, you know. And if I saw him in the fucking street and I had a baseball bat, I'd beat the fucker down to the fucking ground. I mean, it would take me just a little bit to get a fucking gun and blow his fucking head out. That's how pissed off I am. So the bottom line is, I want nothing to do with Jeff Schroeder.
I understand. And I mean, you know, Mayor, I just don't...
He's a piece of fucking shit.
You know,
he caused me all kinds of fucking problems. And fucking Stevens is running around. And by the way, Stevens has told me that he's talked with Jeff. So I wouldn't put it past Jeff to have called Stevens up and said, by the way, the wire transfer for my lawsuit is coming through. You could make an issue of that, Scott. Because the only reason Scott gives a shit about the wire transfer, the only reason that fucking Mosseri gives a shit about it is because of the Jeff Schroeder lawsuit. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a fucking word about the fucking wire transfer. They sat in their fucking ass for years and never raised a fucking question about it. So I suspect that Jeff called him up and said, make an issue of the wire transfer. He already told me that Jeff called him up about the other thing and said, Fouts is your enemy, even though we did everything for the piece of shit. But I'm just looking at all the problems I had, and they all go back to fucking Jeff Schroeder. They all go back to that son of a bitch. The biggest fucking mistake I made was not cutting him loose and letting the son of a bitch fend for himself and not give that piece of shit Constance the fucking job. He didn't do shit either. He sat in his fucking ass and cutted farts all day. That's all he did was cut farts and go and exercise and teach his fucking class.
Cut farts?
Yeah, cut verbal farts. That's all he did. He was a bullshit artist.
Yeah.
I every day I have to put up with that fucking wire transfer. That's Jeff Schroeder. And he had to tip Stevens off. Stevens wouldn't have given a shit. Nobody in that council has ever raised a question about wire transfers. Not until, and all of a sudden, Mosseri woke up. She hasn't done shit all week except roll in at 2 o'clock and hang around for 3 hours and finger herself and look at television.
Well,
if I saw Jeff Schroeder, I'd rip his fucking ass up. If I ever run into him, I'm going to rip his fucking ass up. Because he got a good deal. I bragged him up. I saved his fucking rotten ass. He would have been down in the fucking streets. He would have been running around with Gilson and all those other losers and getting those $50 things for indigent people. That's all he'd have been doing. He wouldn't have been doing shit. I saved his fucking ass and got him a job,